Welcome to the Daily Dosage. I'm Pat Beach.
And I'm PJ Ross.
We're about to give you a quick Major League Baseball update. So, Pedro Martinez, he's pitching with the Phillies now. He had a nice last outing. So what can we expect from Pedro and the Phillies for the rest of the season?
Well, Pedro threw 5 innings, gave up 3 runs and 7 hits last night and looked really good. A lot of people questioned what his velocity was going to look like, but he settled in and was throwing 93 miles an hour tops and really in the low 90s all day long. I think as he progresses and gets a little more comfortable on the mound, we could probably see him get a little closer to 95. That might be stretching his arm out a little bit at 37 years old. I think the real thing that showed good promise for Pedro was his breaking ball. His slider was biting hard, down and away from right-handed hitters, and he used his changeup to sink down and away from lefties. And that's the attack that he really marked as a young guy, and that's what he won his Cy Young with. So I think Pedro's in great shape for the Phillies down the stretch run.
So, with Pedro now in the rotation, Jamie Warrior back to the bullpen, and now Cliff Lee also in the rotation, are the Phillies now the team to beat in the NL?
It certainly looks that way. Kills me as a Dodger fan to say it, but the Phillies have answered questions, and the Dodgers have really left a lot of questions open. Chad Billingsley got hurt this week, missed the start on Wednesday, and he's questionable for next Monday's start. So they really have a lot of holes to fill. And Pedro, who they could have had earlier in the season, they spoke of bringing him in spring training, looks to have been that extra spot filler for the Phillies, and I think the balance has shifted to them in the National League.
What players may have to step up for the Dodgers to, reclaim the title or power holder in the NL right now?
Well, Randy Wolf did a great job on Tuesday. He tossed 8 innings against the Giants and ate up a lot of innings to keep the bullpen fresh for Wednesday's outing. I think him and Hiroki Kuroda are the two guys that really have to step up and bring their game over these next couple of weeks while Billingsley tries to get back at it. Kershaw has been great since late June, and I think he'll keep doing the same. But Kuroda and Wolf are the guys that really have to eat innings and keep that bullpen fresh down the stretch run for LA.
So now let's talk about the American League a little bit. That wild card race is kind of getting pretty hot, and the Seattle Mariners, are they a real player in this wild card race? I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. just did have a big hit in the 14th inning last night to steal them a win.
Yeah, great hit from Jr. I don't think they're going to hang around in here. I think in the past few weeks they've kind of overachieved a little bit, taking 2 or 3 from the Rays, who sit above them and between them in the wild card standings. They have 5 games to jump to catch Boston in the wild card, and I just don't think it's going to happen. In addition to the Rays, the Rangers are also above them, and I think they have a tough stretch of games coming up here that could do them in. They're 29-30 on the road this season, meaning they have 22 road games left, but they have a 10-game stretch of road games from September 3rd to the 13th that's really going to test them, and that might be the deciding factor that slips them out of the race. Well, they're a nice team. I just don't think this is their year to make the playoffs.
The Yankees are coming in town to play the Mariners this weekend. What do you think about that series?
Well, it's definitely going to tell us what the state of the Mariners is right now. The Yankees, no team hotter than them in baseball right now. They've been getting amazing starting pitching, just unbelievably clutch hitting, and I think it's really going to test the Mariners, but I'm not so sure they have the firepower to keep up with the Yanks this time around.
So Vladimir Guerrero, he just hit his 400th home run. Is he a Hall of Famer?
In my book, he's a surefire Hall of Famer. Vlad's the best bad ball hitting player of the past decade or so, maybe even more. And I think he's really done everything he can to show that he's a Hall of Famer. He's had injuries, and it really just hurts to watch him even limp around the bases on home runs these days. But the guy is an amazing talent. He's got a .322 career average and 400 home runs. Him and the great Jimmy Fox are the only right-handed hitters ever to do that. He's in some pretty elite company. So I think Vlad is a definite Hall of Famer. Maybe not first ballot for some guys, but you can't keep him out of that exclusive club. He's just great, and to not consider him in the top 1% of baseball history would be an absolute shame.
So let's talk about that team that Vlad's on right now, the Angels. What do you expect for them for the rest of the season?
Well, they're certainly playing great baseball. In addition to Vlad heating up late recently, Kendry Morales all of a sudden has 25 home runs. Where that came from, I have no idea. Thought he'd be more of a 15 home run guy, 300, 315 average, but he's just exploded lately. Their pitching staff has really come together, and they're really starting to put some ground between themselves and second place Rangers in the AL West. I think teams need to be really wary of the Angels in the postseason. They've got some veterans, they've been there before, and they know how to win. So I think they're sneaking up on teams as a quiet favorite in the AL behind the surging Yankees.
Do you want to talk about Texas at all? The Rangers, I know they have some firepower, but do they have any chance to make it to the playoffs?
I honestly didn't expect them to hang around this long. They had that great start earlier in the year, and I didn't think that things would stay going this great for them, but they have. Josh Hamilton had a 4-hit day today to get him another victory. But like the Mariners, I just don't think they have the experience to hang around quite down the stretch run. The Angels are a great team. They're going to have a lot of head-to-head matchups with them, and I think that's what's going to set the difference between the two. The Rangers just won't be able to close that gap with all the interdivisional games coming up.
So there you have it. There's your Major League Baseball update. Stay tuned to our channel for more Major League Baseball coverage coming your way soon.
You've got questions, we've got answers. Make sure to shoot us a message on Twitter or leave a comment on our video or articles to get at us. Get into the daily mailbag, and I want to ask you this question. Should Vladimir Guerrero be a Hall of Famer? Let us know.